Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and ladies and gentlemen, it is December. 2021 is almost over. And I remember being brand new to crypto 4 years ago. And about this time, in the very earliest days of December, is when altcoin mania for the previous market cycle began. And it was insane and it was exciting. And mind you, I didn't have that much money in crypto because, well, two reasons. It was hard to get money into the crypto space back then anyway. A lot of cryptocurrency exchanges weren't even accepting new customers. And also, I didn't, frankly, know what the hell I was doing. So it would have been ill-advised for me to just plop down a crazy amount of money anyway. But it was still exciting to be a part of it and experience it and, learn a bit how the crypto space operates by actually dipping my toes in the water, by putting actual money in and just learning. And then, of course, from there, it was just research. But man, what a crazy time. So now we're 4 years later. And I still haven't sold a single XRP, and I am not complaining. I've been waiting for this moment in time. And so I'm not claiming that I know exactly when we're going to have the next real alt season where every cryptocurrency under the sun starts popping off. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly when XRP is going to go, but just in terms of market structure, we're pretty well there. Like, we're pretty much there. We're at the tail end of this thing. And so if history is to repeat and humans behave as they have in the past, yes, the fireworks are about to happen right now. And so it's worth looking at what happened with the month of November, just the monthly close. And that's exactly what one very popular chart analyst spoke about in depth recently. And I want to share with you just a couple key takeaways, as well as perspective from a few other analysts. But before going any further, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So look, mostly range bound right now in terms of crypto price action, although the market's down. If you look over the last 24 hours, yeah, a number of coins are down. Even XRP's back below $1, right at 99.7 cents. Okay, well, not that that's horrific. Bitcoin's at $56,801. Market cap for the asset class, 2.68 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at an even 40%. I'll mention this too because I've been doing this lately in videos where I talk about price. Here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 34 out of 100. This updates only once every 24 hours. And we are 2 hours and 20 minutes away from the latest update, and so this number has not been updated since almost 24 hours ago when I made my very last video where I was talking about price. But still, you might not have seen that, so I thought I'd mention this anyway. So what about Ethereum? Well, here's a 7-day chart for Ethereum, and it's been not looking too bad, especially if you look at the ETH/BTC pair. But this is just the 7-day price action of Ethereum on your screen. And finally, you can see at the very tail end here, yes, it's been going down a little bit, but within the last 24 hours, it had a high of $4,781, not far from its all-time high of $4,861. And there's a reason that I wanted to highlight this, and it comes down to some comments that were made by a very popular chart analyst, Credible Crypto, who is now up to 273,000 followers. He also runs a YouTube channel with somewhere in the neighborhood of about 37,000 subscribers. And I tell you, that could be as big as he wants it to be. He's fantastic. He just doesn't post on there nearly as frequently as he does on Twitter. But he put out a video just yesterday where he was talking about the broader implications for the altcoin market, specifically because of how Ethereum's behaving. And so I'm not going to regurgitate his whole video. I encourage you to check that out if you want all of the specifics. I think his most recent video was like 13 minutes or something like that. But I wanted to highlight just a few of the key takeaways that I found to be most interesting about Bitcoin first and then Ethereum. Because look, he thinks that we may see Bitcoin back up to around maybe the $63,000 price level in the coming days and perhaps weeks. But he thinks it's very probable that we'll see it trade sideways potentially for even maybe a couple months or so before finally breaking to the upside and breaching the major psychological level of $100,000. So he's in the camp that says, yes, Bitcoin to over $100,000. I've previously seen him state maybe in terms of a reasonable top, maybe somewhere in the region of $150,000, but he doesn't rule it out. It going even higher potentially. And so he does seem to see that looks like the market cycle's lengthening, and which is always an interesting topic of conversation. At this point, it does seem like most analysts that I don't know if they're right or wrong. I'm just observing most analysts that I follow they do seem to think more likely than not, yes, we're seeing an extended market cycle here. But what I found even more interesting was what he had to say about Ethereum, because again, this is what has the broadest of implications for XRP and really all of your altcoins. If you're like me, like mind you, so yes, XRP is my biggest holding in crypto. It's the cryptocurrency that I felt the most comfortable in terms of the risk reward over the last several years. I'm optimistic in terms of long-term viability. It's actually being used in, enterprise-grade software today. There's a number of reasons, but even so, I still hold, over 24 different cryptocurrencies. And I like that. I like that I've done that, even though those positions are not as large as what I have with XRP. I'm glad that I've done that. I wanted to diversify even within crypto. And so anybody, my point in saying this, because I bet that most of you are like me in that sense, that you hold multiple altcoins. If I just had to take a guess, the good news is anybody that's in altcoins rather than Bitcoin, like you're going to have a good time. And fine, even if you hold Bitcoin, okay, so maybe what if it doubles from here? Or maybe it triples. Okay, you get a 2 to 3-fold increase. Okay, I didn't get in crypto for a 2 to 3-fold increase. So if you're buying Bitcoin now, okay, you do you. I think that the people that are into altcoins right now are the people that are going to end up being the very happiest at the end of the day here. And so Credible Crypto says, we're at a very key point where Ethereum has now reclaimed a key support level against Bitcoin, having consolidated under that level for 8 whole months. Indeed, it was bouncing up if you look at the ETH BTC pair, it was just bouncing off against if you want the specifics again, you'll just have to go to his video, but yeah, for 8 months it was. And he noted something important, which I've talked about for the longest damn time. Consolidation precedes expansion. So it's the same thing as that Corning line, the greater the base, the higher in space, meaning that the longer something trades sideways, again, consolidating, the greater the blow-off will finally be when it takes off. Well, we've certainly seen that with Ethereum for 8 months at this point. And so, the fact that, and this is true, consolidation precedes expansion, this is why people that have patience issues don't make money in stocks and crypto. And look, when Bitcoin is ranging, altcoins tend to do well. And while Bitcoin is ranging and Ethereum is breaking out, altcoins should do extremely well. And so, and note also that, if Ethereum has a particularly bullish move that, altcoins could lag behind a little bit, but it still won't matter. Because it's the same concept of, like, just when Bitcoin's really having a major breakout, the rest of crypto markets tend to lag behind. It can actually suck some money out of altcoins and into Bitcoins, if anything. So, but it's just a little lag factor. But the point being here that, again, assuming he's right, Ethereum having reclaimed this support level, a major alt season is about to seriously pop right here. And so everybody that's in XRP and other cryptocurrencies, given that the market moves in tandem, I believe that we're going to be very handsomely rewarded. That would be my guess. And I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold. I'm not telling you that I know anything for sure. But the general concept of all this, yep, I certainly do buy into that. And Credible Crypto is not the only analyst. Here's a tweet from chart analyst DIY Investing. He wrote, "This alt season will be life-changing. Ethereum breaking out and leading the way shows the early signs of the biggest alt run this cycle is soon upon us." And so I would just say, bravo and kudos to you for being here before the rest of the masses. You done figured it out before them. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Michael Vandepop. He said, "Honestly, I'm not too convinced about Bitcoin at this point. The expectations are still that we're going to have a parabolic run taking place in a matter of weeks. I just don't see it happening. I'd rather see more consolidation happen and a bullish 2022, lengthening cycles." And so look, again, I don't know for sure. I'm just observing that most analysts, at least the ones that I follow, they're of the mindset that, yes, there's some sort of lengthening of the cycle, even if just to a small degree, even if just a couple months or a little over a quarter, whatever it may be. This is what I keep seeing again and again. Here's a tweet from Plan B, who is most famous for having been the first to apply the stock-to-flow model to Bitcoin. And he's had a couple different models. I mentioned this in my video yesterday where I talked about price. He also had a separate floor model, which is not the same as his stock-to-floor model. And for the first time, and he said for the first time in a decade, it failed. Because he was in the floor model indicated that Bitcoin at the close of November should have been at least at $98,000. And so, yeah, over 30 grand shy of that. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have seen it. So that model seems to be invalidated. He said he's going to give it one more month, and then if it's still way out of whack, okay, time to throw it away, it seems. But as far as a stock to flow model, here, I'll make this chart that he shared full screen. This model has been spot on. This is what it is. And he believes that this is going to persist. So we will see over $100,000 Bitcoin this market cycle in the not too distant future. And he wrote, stock to flow model on track since March 2019 in one standard deviation band, which is the dark blue on screen, aiming for $100,000. Again, wouldn't mind seeing that one little bit. And there's this article from the Daily Hodl. I don't want to read the whole thing. I just wanted to highlight one small key portion of this. But it's titled, Macro Guru Raoul Pal says two Ethereum challengers set to outrun Ethereum unveils massive end-of-year crypto outlook. And the part that I found most interesting, it's in line with a bit of what I've been saying in this video, it's like what to expect in terms of market cycle. Well, check this out. And he's very big on Ethereum, by the way. I think in this article it said here, 82% of his portfolio is in Ethereum. So that tells you something here. But anyway, Paul predicts the crypto markets will see a big price surge moving into the end of the year. And after, he thinks traders will get rattled. And here's a quote from him. We'll probably start to see a sell-off in early January or late December because people are expecting something. And I think it will be wholeheartedly wrong because I see nothing but a wall of money coming in January/February/March, end quote. So he's of the mindset also that things in market cycle is going to be lengthening here. And we will know relatively soon because, again, if things are like they were 4 years ago, I mean, it was within a few days of the month of December started, altcoins just started freaking popping. They really... Now, it's also true Bitcoin had started running up first, so maybe we'll need to see that going. But even Credible Crypto says you might see that sooner than later, even if just to about $63,000. But if we don't start seeing that in the next week or two, if we don't start seeing altcoins pop, isn't it kind of at a point where we're like, this is looking a little bit different? Not structurally, but just in terms of the idea of whether or not the cycle's lengthening. Wouldn't that potentially be a pretty strong indicator? Because there's only several weeks in a month here. We're going to know sooner than later, which is why I keep saying that, like, it's so exciting. And either way, so even if Bitcoin is actually going to top at like only $75,000 to $80,000, well, damn, that's still going to leave a ton of opportunity for altcoins to run bonkers. And so if I do start seeing the parabolic blow off top before Bitcoin's gotten up to the higher levels that some analysts like DIY Investing and Kaleo and Michael Vanderpop and Credible Crypto are talking about, over $100,000. If we start seeing those parabolic moves for the altcoins to the upside, I'll feel at that moment pretty convinced at that time that way more likely than not, a top like the blockchain backers talking about is much more probable. So in a way, if I start seeing coins pop, I'll be a little bit disappointed, but then I'll quickly get over it because I'll recognize this means that the most fun part of the cycle is really starting. And that's where the fortunes are to be made. The only reason I say at first I might feel slightly disappointed is only because I know the higher Bitcoin goes, the more money will ultimately flow into XRP and every other crypto that I hold, and same for your holdings as well. That's what I believe anyway. So we'll see. I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.